If you're watching this from the UK, then that means that I'm not a traitor yet to the UK public, that I'm not some dissident that they need to worry about, and that my content is safe to watch. For now. Yes, I'm talking about the UK's Online Safety Act going into effect as of yesterday, the 25th of July. I'm not concerned about it as being a total authoritarian move. I do think the intention was that it is for safety. However, anybody with half a brain can understand why, where, and how the UK is building its own great firewall. And it's one of those things that I think a lot of people are quick to jump on and misinterpret, but at the same time, they're not wrong in their wariness of it. And that's the beautiful thing about this whole petition that they've got going on. I have my phone in the seat. At the time that I started recording this, or just before I started recording this, it was up to like 205,000 signatures. I'll have the screenshot right here that I took. I wanted to originally sit in my car and just do segments and have like a rolling ticker going by, but I just realized that I don't have the time to do that today. So, with that said, I did go back onto the Wayback Machine or the Internet Archive.org or archive.org, whichever sites you want to do. And if I'm remembering correctly, and I wholeheartedly will admit if I'm wrong, I believe that when somebody timestamps or bookmarks a page flagged for the archive, it does it in UTC time. And I'll post this screenshot of that here in a bit. The UTC time as of yesterday at 5, I want to say it was like 5:20. I'll put the time underneath it as well. Was only like 47,000 something or other. This morning when I woke up, it was 170 some odd thousand. And as you saw by the time that I started just before recording this, it was over 205,000, or roughly about that. So I'm like, what's going on with this petition? I'm not seeing it anywhere on the news or anything. And one can speculate that it is that the news media doesn't want to run afoul of Ofcom. Fair enough. I don't blame them for that. But when it comes to not reporting on something as viral as this going on, it's crazy to me that they would actually pretend like this isn't a thing. Now, when I was finding the petition online, I did find that it was Parliament has closed down for the summer. The House of Commons closed down for the summer. Fine, not a big deal. I'm sure that the government employees there will flag it and make sure that it's heard, But it's remarkably interesting that the amount of people that are signing this petition, and I really hope for the people of the UK that it is only people of the UK, signing this petition. As Americans, we should not sign the petition. I don't know that the Commonwealth should or shouldn't. I can't say for certain. I don't know how I don't think that the Commonwealths are directly influenced by UK politics specifically. So I don't think that they should be doing it either. I could be wrong. And if they are directly impacted by this, then yes, they should be. But again, I'm doing this in my car while I'm driving. I'm not having readily available access to this readily accessible information. So I'm going off of this by memory on my understanding of UK politics and the Commonwealths and things like that. So yeah, it boggles my mind that a government agency thinks that they can run this type of program and it not eventually be utilized by people with malicious intent. And I'm not saying it's definitely a thing that's going to happen. I'm just saying that this is a plausible thing that's going to happen. And I really hope that it's, it doesn't happen. But if they don't repeal this and they stand fast with this and create their firewall, 4chan is 4chan. I don't necessarily have an issue with, limiting access to 4chan. But when 4chan is basically telling you we can't afford to monitor and moderate our content the way that a government wants us to, so we're shutting down access to our site in your country, that there's a freedom of speech issue going on here. And again, I understand safety, the intent of, being able to access online porn sites and whatnot, of, having to verify ID and all that. That's fine. I understand. That's great. It's better than the click I'm 18 or I'm not 18 and relying on the honesty of a teenager or a young child. Yeah, that's stupid. But at the same time, I should not be putting my information out there onto a company's website that could be hacked. Oh wait, we already do that already. But you kind of get the point that I'm trying to get at. ID verification for certain things, it's scary because if your information gets hacked and related to a less than reputable site, societally speaking, not necessarily that they're running their site in an egregious fashion. Just that it, if you were to go on a prawn hub or something like that, and you had to verify your stuff, and their database gets hacked, it's a whole bunch of, potential problems, not just for the people that submit their IDs, but for the businesses that are trying to operate within the law, of the nations that they're operating in. Now, some of these businesses already have pretty decent capabilities because they operate in countries that already have stuff like this in place. But there are other apps and sites that don't. So you got to kind of hedge your bet. So again, if you're watching this in the UK, great. I'm not a threat yet, or I haven't done anything that warrants me being blocked, or YouTube hasn't done anything that warrants being blocked. So just ask that you keep in mind that you need to, I'm not going to say you need to sign this petition. If you feel that it's an offense to your liberties and your rights, then yes, sign the petition. If you agree with the act, by all means, don't sign the petition. Do what you think is best for your country. I'm not going to sit here and preach to you. American free speech would definitely not allow this to fly. That being said, you're not the U.S. You don't have the free speech codified in your law the same way we do. So do what you think is right. And, my current thought is that, you should sign the petition. But I'm not going to demand you to. I'm not going to tell you you have to. Just consider it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Peace.